Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. I swear, if, this is so crazy. I almost don't even believe it. It's true, though. It's reported here in several places that one of the teachers at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School was arrested over the weekend because he left his gun in the bathroom at one of the piers, I guess in Miami, at Miami Beach or close by. I mean, it's just so crazy. I almost was like, is this for real? I couldn't believe it. And I still am just kind of processing it. He supposedly is very much in favor of gun control, but he also, according to one of the reports, was thought it was possibly, not a bad idea to arm teachers. He was willing to explore the idea, something like that. And then the Miami Herald just absolutely trashes the idea. And the school board has rejected it, as has the superintendent, Robert Runcie, and the Broward School Board. So let me just play this report because it's so crazy. Let's just watch it, man. Nuts.
He's been a big supporter of the Never Again movement for gun control ever since 17 people were killed at his school on Valentine's Day. And he said he'd be willing to carry a gun in class to protect students. But investigative reporter Bob Norman has learned Simpson literally lost control of his own gun Sunday and now faces criminal charges. Here's Bob with a story you'll only see on Local 10.
I'm okay. After the mass shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High, science teacher Sean Simpson took to Facebook to let people know he and other teachers were okay. That's what I can see. And ever since then, Simpson, who's worked on school projects with Emma Gonzalez and David Hogg, has supported the Never Again movement, attending the March for Our Lives protest and advocating for gun control. But on Sunday, Simpson apparently lost control of his own gun and is now facing a criminal charge of failing to safely store his Glock 9mm handgun after a dangerous mishap at the Deerfield Beach Pier, where thankfully nobody was hurt. After going to the bathroom there, Simpson left the gun, similar to the one pictured, sitting in the stall. According to the arrest report, Simpson realized he left the gun in the bathroom about 5 minutes later, and on his way to retrieve it, he heard a gunshot. The gun had been discovered by a homeless man named Joseph Spatero, who deputies say was intoxicated and fired the gun to see if it was loaded. Fortunately, the bullet didn't strike anyone. When Simpson saw Spatero, he snatched the gun from him. Deputies arrived and arrested Simpson on the gun charge, a misdemeanor, noting in the report that the gun could have easily, quote, ended up in the hands of a child. In Deerfield Beach, Bob Norman, Local 10 News.
A school board spokeswoman told Bob the district is not expected to take action against Simpson, and Bob tells us that Spatero was also charged in the case for firing the gun in public while intoxicated.
Okay, so I guess he's not going to lose his job, and I'm not looking, good, Even though I will say, I mean, it's just, I can't. You're not allowed to possibly speculate, of. It's just so strange, man. It's so odd. The circumstances surrounding it, where he lines up politically on the issue, and then this happens. I don't know, man. It's just so crazy, dude. So, but if I could, just over at the Miami Herald, here, I'll read their opinion that trashes, the concept of arming teachers. And I'm not necessarily for arming teachers or against arming teachers. I certainly think it's worth talking about at a minimum. We should be allowed to talk about anything. And, the guy obviously thinks that he needs the weapon to protect himself out in public. That's why he was carrying the weapon. Or was it some other crazy reason, but that's the idea. If you're if he obviously was using it to protect himself, if it's good enough to protect himself, it's good enough to protect other people, and other people being whomever. Hello? So it says, this is the Miami Herald, and they obviously have a viewpoint that thinks it's a bad idea to. So Simpson, however, didn't get away with the incident scot-free. He, too, was arrested and charged with failing to safely store a firearm. I mean, obviously, I felt bad for the guy in his booking photo, a second-degree misdemeanor punishable by, looked like a booking photo, maximum of 60 days in jail. Let that sink in. This teacher is now facing a criminal charge, and that's exactly what other teachers agreeing to arm themselves would be facing if they mishandled their guns in school, too. Looks like it didn't take long for the armed good guy theory of school safety to be debunked. You know, somebody's going to have to take down a shooter. You know, there's going to have to be some armed good guy, whether it's a police officer, somebody. You know, unless the idea is just to get rid of all guns everywhere. But what about the government? Hello? I mean, it's just silly. You know, and I guess I'm not even allowed to say these things. It's so ridiculous. I don't even own a gun, okay? I've shot a gun a couple times in my life when I was a kid, you know, up in a cabin shooting like skeet, and I shot a handgun. My brother-in-law owns a legal firearm, and he took me to a firing range and stuff, and it was pretty cool. But that's about the extent of my gun enthusiasm. But I believe in rights, in your right to bear arms, your right to protect yourself. And I believe that, you know, regular citizens are way better, have much better judgment about what, you know, a person's rights are than huge government bureaucrats and liberal, silly people. So still think it's a good idea to arm teachers who are overloaded with responsibilities of long days of teaching, grading, and preparing lessons, not to mention unrelenting administrative paperwork and meetings, when one can't even handle his gun properly on a leisurely weekend. Thanks to good judgment of Superintendent Robert Runcie and the Broward School Board, who rejected the legislature's NRA happy plan to arm teachers, the traumatized high school isn't being used as a laboratory to implement that asinine idea. The only good thing in Florida, in the Florida lawmakers' attempt to arm teachers, is that it left it up to the districts to make the final decision. So, and that's it. That's the story there. You know, I mean, I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I will see you in the next video. Come here, Peanut. Oh, that's a good boy. Later, man.